My Little Pony, friendship is magic. If there's one thing that this wonderful show has sought to teach us is that it doesn't matter what challenge we face, or tribulation or foe, that if we face it together, that the power of friendship will not fail us. That together, we can be stronger than anything life can throw at us. And as great as that is, you can't just assume that the forces of evil will be fine waiting for your 5 besties to show up every time ass needs kicking. What if they miss their bus? Or, you know, something else is going on and there's a scheduling conflict? What if your friend doesn't show up to the D&D session 3 weeks in a row because they've been in a car accident, as if that's some kind of excuse, Rachel? Well, in that situation, you're on your own. But that doesn't mean you can't be prepared. What if you are about to go 1v1 the living incarnation of chaos? The first thing you're probably asking yourself is, what would his power ranking look like compared to mine? Hi, I'm Ava CZ, and I think it's about time someone ranked the power levels in Friendship is Magic. Alright, now, before we get to figuring out where Discord and all the other characters in Friendship is Magic fit on this list, we're gonna have to set some ground rules. The tiers we have, we're gonna be going from F to A tier, where F is the weakest and A is the strongest. I'll explain each as I get to them. But for now, understand that I'm gonna be using myself as a baseline here, and we're gonna say that I slot into E tier. That's so we can have a little bit of room below and a lot of room above, so we can have a proper scale. Also, these are all one-on-one fights. Even those usually in groups will only be considered as individuals. And just to be clear, we will not be having any joke categories or additional categories, only these official standardized categories. We will be sticking to cold, hard, serious tier listing, and I will not have jokes sullying the experience. Starting in F tier, anyone in this tier, I'm fairly confident I could beat in a fight pretty much every time. So I'm gonna really cherish as we go through this section because, oh, the further we go down this list, the faster my self-esteem is going to decline. That said, we're not gonna spend too much time here though, because it's mainly split into 2 large categories. Literally just a child, and literally just an inanimate object. You know, one of which has no ability of conscious thought and therefore couldn't fight back at all, and the other are inanimate objects. If you're interested in all the specific characters under these 2 categories, I have them listed here, but let me go through some notable inclusions. Diamond Tiara, she's rich and annoying, but those factors will only make it easier for me to punt her into a ditch. There's the Cake Twins. While they have been shown to be super insanely powerful or whatever the episode they're introduced, that's because of how ponies age and they start with unstable magic or whatever. I can just wait for them to grow up. I'm fairly certain I can hide from a bunch of twerps who haven't developed object permanence yet, so I'm not that afraid. And you also might notice that not every child character is on this list, and that's because some of them have magic or skills, or I'm scared of them. We'll get to that later. Anyway, a few more I got here in F tier. 3 ponies just under a category I labeled pathetic, which are just Fluttershy's brother and 2 parents. Then of course we have Troubleshoes. Now, he's cursed with eternal bad luck, and I can relate to that, so it's more of a know thy enemy thing. Thorax is here because I'm pretty sure he's a pacifist, and I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly. In case he's not, I'm just gonna call him a coward. Oh, and right, before I forget, welcome to the monster bonus sub-tier list. The tier list inside a tier list where we rank the monsters. Because there's a lot of just horrifying fantasy monsters in MLP that aren't specific characters, so it feels like an appropriate distinction to make. That said, we only have 1 in F tier, and it's Breezies. Yeah, and that's it for the monster bonus sub-tier list. I promise there'll be more next time. And the last entry we have in F tier, Gummy. He's just a sweet little boy. Next up is E tier, and as I said earlier, this is where I reside. So anyone here, I have a pretty decent chance at beating. Well, to be honest, it's more of a coin flip, but they're actually going to put up a fight this time, is my point. Oh, and speaking of average and below combat ability, we have our largest category in this whole tier list, the just a horse category. A whole 109 ponies or groups of ponies, all which have no perceivable advantage in a fight. They're just gonna scroll by. You'll see most of them are just background ponies or regular civilians. Surprising amount of bakers. Let's see if I can point out anyone interesting. Oh, right, there was a listing on the wiki for just train conductors, and they don't even have names, but yet they're listed in a more important category than others like Lyra and Bonbon. Flash Sentry is here because despite him being a royal guard, screw him. I am not letting him get any higher on this list. Derpy is here, Brayburn, and most of the Apple family. Prince Blueblood, frankly, might be placed too high in this category. And, you know, all of the rest of the ponies who aren't just built for fighting. And now that we have the schmucks out of the way, let's move on to the wild animals. Owlicious, Tank, Winota, and Opalescence. The only one of these animals that I'd normally be confident fighting would be the house cat, and yet that's the one I'm most scared of here. Grandpa Gruff. That angry old man has claws. I'm not really sure what Grubber's deal is, but I'm not that scared of him. I probably could take him. Also, very likely has weapon or some combat skill. At least one I'd hope, but I don't see it. Spike is also in E tier, and no, that's not because he's strong enough to make it out of F tier, but that's because E tier is the F tier for dragons. The CMC are here, surprisingly though, all for their own reasons. Apple Bloom, too determined. She would fight to the last breath, and I am nowhere near that committed. Sweetie Belle is annoying and would get on my nerves, and I probably wouldn't fight, you know, at my peak capacity. Meanwhile, Scootaloo is used to bullying, and so she's probably built up a lot of resilience. Cozy Glow. This is a child that I fear, but still, she's a child, so I have the size advantage. Gustave Legrand. I just wrote chef. Little Strongheart. She is a buffalo, but she's little. It's in the name. Now, we have 2 nice-looking griffins and 4 nice-looking hippogriffs. They all have the physical advantage, but they seem a bit too sweet to fight properly. Or, in Gallus's case, I guess you'd just be too bored. Oh my! Is that the monster bonus sub-tier list? Yes, it is! What do we have this time? No. It's just one again. Parasprites. For the same reason as Breezy's, but that's only because it's a one-on-one. If there was more of them, they'd be ranked a lot higher. If for some reason I can't get to that little bugger quick, I am screwed. They'll just multiply and it's over. I guess there only being 2 monsters I think I could fight at all makes sense, given that's how monsters work. Moving on to D tier, this is where I still might have a chance, even though the odds are stacked against me. But like, a gun would probably level this playing field. First up, we have the category of athletes. So, you know, Wonderbolts, Bulk Biceps, Iron Will. They're stronger and faster than me. Athlete then branches out into 2 subcategories. On one side, we have characters with combat training. Those are mostly Royal Guards and Bonbon because, you know, she's a secret agent. Tempest Shadow is also here. She would be scarier if she had her magic. Thankfully, she doesn't, but, you know, she could still slit my throat. And on the other side, we have Can Snap Me Like a Twig, where our first member of the main 6 shows up, actually. Applejack and her brother are here, so are all the Yaks and Mod Pie. Well, in case you don't understand why Mod Pie is on this list, yeah. Next up, we have Sheriff Silverstar, Cheese Sandwich, and the Huffield and McColt families inside the Will Pull Out a Gun category. Speaking of pulling out weapons, next up, we have criminals. They've shown no respect for the law. They're not going to show any respect for the rules of engagement. The two interesting ones we have on this list are Daring Do, grave robbing, desecrating ancient ruins, stealing artifacts from foreign lands, and Trixie. Trixie not because I think she'd win in the first fight, but because I think she's likely to escape and plot my downfall. And I don't need to deal with that energy. Oh shoot, how long has that been that? I just realized I didn't actually set these to autoplay. I am stupid. Moon Dancer, Zecora, and Chancellor Naysay are here. All in D tier because they know way too much magic not to have something up their sleeve in a fight. And Luster Dawn also slides in adjacent because she's Twilight's student and who knows what she has been taught. Harry the Bear, Diamond Dogs, and Aoizotl are all large and have teeth. Changelings are in this tier because while their general strength is that equivalent to, you know, a regular pony, I am dreadfully unobservant. I will not see them coming. Flurry Heart being in D tier shows the strength of being an alicorn because, you know, she's literally a baby and I still would not square up to her. Autumn Blaze, she can explode. I'm flammable. Marble Pie has anger problems. Sunburst, they're only here because they're like a level 1 sorcerer, but I'm a level 0 sorcerer, so you got me there. Second member of the main 6 is here, Rarity. She's not really a fighter, but she has the range and accuracy, and she definitely knows where the soft spots are, so she would know where to cut. Griffins are here in general, mainly because they have claws, wings, general hatred of existence of other beings, and hippogriffs are also here because they're just griffins with a bonus water stage. Gilda, I just wrote scum. Angel Bunny, I fear them more than most beasts. I think it's their cruelty. I don't know how to defeat the Smooths. I don't think they're really that deadly, but how would I fight them? I don't know. I just succumb to the Smoozen, I think. Ember and Smolder, they would have been fine to fight due to their small size, but they can both breathe fire. Dragons can only get so weak. Sludge is here too, because he's slow and out of shape despite being large, but yet again, you know, still, dragon. Oh yeah! And it's bonus monster sub-tier list time! And we actually get to talk about more than one monster. All of these are here because they're about as scary to fight as a grizzly bear. Let's see, Timberwolves, Rocks, Cockatrice. The comment before about being unobservant really bites me here. As well as Orthoros, Fragediles, and Kipetali. They both just seem like crocodile variants. Chimera, and Manticore. All very scary creatures, but yet again, if I had a gun, I could probably take them. And now, as we move on to C tier, from here on out, I actually have them ranked in individual power level instead of just randomly splattered around the tier list. So, C tier is where I'm pretty much screwed unless a miracle happens, or I don't know, I have a tank. So, unless something like that happens, I'm as good as dead. Starting out, we have Fluttershy, and no, bear with me, don't you, stop that. I can justify this. Look, so first of all, she can just stare at someone and make them freeze in place instantly out of fear. She can Hulk out to be stronger than a grizzly bear, we've seen this. And also, she is the only one of the main 6 capable of withstanding Discord's temptations. Like, she's the only one who went into that maze and didn't fall for his crap, so he had to cheat to make her lose her kindness. So, if she can stand up to the God of Chaos, who is one of the, well, we haven't ranked him yet, but regardless, Fluttershy has a really high power cap, even if her neutral state is really weak, so that's why she is here. Next up is Pinkie Pie, and this one is a lot easier to explain. She can warp reality around herself. Like, her powers seem to be limited to things happening off screen, so to speak. So she clearly can't just snap her fingers and have the universe bend to her whims. But you know, she's still not really possible for someone like me to defeat. We have the Shadow Bolts. They are really mysterious, so their power level could be massive, and I'm bad at puzzles, so I would not figure that out. Garble. They're a dragon that can properly really fight now, but they are also dumb as a rock, so I could probably use that to escape. Look, the dragon bonus points are really shining in this placement. Speaking of shining, Shining Armor is both a highly skilled soldier, a captain of the Royal Guard, and a highly powerful magic user. That's a wombo combo that my cookie can't crumble. Queen Chrysalis is, she's kind of just like a changeling plus, if that makes sense. Everything about changelings also applies to her, but she also has some powerful magic. It's not that too insane. Most of her power in the show comes from her legions and the power in numbers and whatever, so she by herself, only in C tier. The Maniac. She may be fictional within MLP, but all of the characters of MLP are fictional to us, so I thought it'd be nice to include her. But yeah, she's bat insane and has a killer hairdo. The Pony of Shadows is a spawn of evil. Stygian was off in E tier, I don't know if you saw him, but there's two separate enough entities that I listed them apart. And I'd just probably be consumed by whatever shadow magic this thing spews forth. And Storm King is surprisingly, or perhaps not that surprisingly, not as scary as things we have coming up next in the tier list. Most of his power is power in numbers, but he is also a giant yeti with dark magic. Probably could Eldritch Blast me to the dirt. Steven Magnet is here purely based on his size. Poor guy would crush me, wouldn't even realize it, and that's really awkward for the both of us. So I'm going to quickly move on to Starlight Glimmer, who, well, mind control, teleportation, time manipulation, lasers. She's just kind of a high tier magic user, and that's kind of what this tier is all about. Woot woot! Now we're getting to move on to monsters, and here we have Cerberus. They defend the gates of Tartarus, so if they're confident enough to defend the entry point into hell, I'm pretty sure they're confident enough to eat me whole. Wendigos. I can't reach that high. We also have the Bugbear and the Sphinx. One is an oversized bear, one is an oversized cat. They both have wings, and they both would crush me to death. And finally, Urza Major / Minor. They don't have anything special about them, like powers or anything, but they are the size of a double-decker bus. B tier. B tier is where I wouldn't even bother trying to fight for my life. I might have at least a few minutes to call my dentist, tell her I'm going to be missing the appointment I have next week. So, to start us off, we have Rainbow Dash. She can move at the speed of sound. Princess Cadence. She's an alicorn, but she's the lovey-dovey alicorn, so I don't know how many evisceration spells she knows, but at least one. Nightmare Moon and Daybreaker are here, purely because they have Celestia and Luna's power, but they're also insane, so they wouldn't be thinking clearly, and that might make my death less swift and more painful. Star Swirl the Bearded. It doesn't matter if it's Fireball, Blizzard, or Cloud Kill. I'm not even worth the level 5 slot he's going to turn me to ash with. He could cantrip me. King Sombra is after that. He also has mind control, can summon giant crystals, can turn into smoke, which makes him essentially invulnerable to someone like me, and can subjugate the entire kingdom without any help. So yeah, he can just kill me pretty damn hard, and I can't do anything to stop him. Lord T-Rex is the last character that we have in B tier, and that's only because his baseline form is weak and frail. He can just steal power from anyone he wants, so, you know, he can become more powerful than anyone else, theoretically. It's more of a matter of being stopped quick enough before that happens. And our monster bonus sub-round is here, and we just have the two friends, the two twins, dragons and hydras. They're huge, unkillable, breathe fire, and on average, they're as bad as it gets. And finally, our highest tier, A tier. A tier is just, I'm dead. Head explosion, just poof. The moment anyone here even considers ending my life. Now, there's only 5 in this whole tier, and we're gonna be starting with Princess Luna, who is the weaker of the 2 Canterlot princesses, only because she has about 1,000 years less practice than the next person on this list, Princess Celestia. They, with Luna, can lift the sun and moon. They can enter any pony's dreams in Equestria. They can manifest any magic they want. They know the world's entire history and secrets. They're immortal alicorns. They've never directly lost a fight to anyone that wasn't one another. No, and that leads me to the final pony and princess on this list, Twilight Sparkle. What's there to say? She's the princess of magic. She is the most powerful alicorn we have ever seen, and she sits at the top of this list. Unless I'm missing something. Right. The monsters, the monster sub tier list, right? So there's two monsters strong enough to compete here. We have the Taltzaworm, the Taltzaworm, right? That thing is the size of a mountain. And speaking of size of a mountain, our top dog, strongest of the strongest, we have Dragon Lord Torch, who is bigger than a mountain. They use a mountain as their throne. So there we have it. Every character from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic ranked in terms of power. Wait, there must be someone I'm missing. Right, Grogar. Oh no, we have to talk. We have to talk about Discord. Okay, so Discord. Here's the problem. Discord's power level makes no sense. He is either the most powerful or the least powerful character in My Little Pony. He has been shown to be able to transform the entire world of Equestria with just a snap of his fingers, like he's Thanos or something, but he can't, do jack squat when it comes to actually helping anyone defeat any villain. His powers can just be sucked out of him by T-Rex like they're ordinary magic, as if that makes any sense. But then he can just break out of being turned into stone because he feels like it, I guess. So I can't put him into any of the tiers, because no matter where I put him, there's going to be massive contradictions in how powerful he is. Is he the most powerful character to ever exist? Can he break, he can break the fourth wall. So is he more powerful than even the bounds of the show? Is he powerful enough to affect real life? Wait, no. Discord is powerful enough. He's powerful enough to affect me right now, and I'm in real life, so that means he can affect real life. He can transcend the show. He can transcend anything he's in. I can't release this video. If I do, he'll be released into the world and he'll destroy everything. I need to delete the footage. I can't. I need to delete it. What? No, I haven't touched this footage yet. I didn't. No, I can't stop it. But you can still save yourself. You can turn off the video. If you shut off the video, and forget this you ever saw this, you can prevent yourself from falling under his influence, please. You can prevent it from spreading. Just turn off the video. Stop before he does to you what he did to me. What are you waiting for? Go! You're not turning the video off. You fools! You fool! You're doomed! I'm doomed. There's nothing I can do. Wait. I can do something. I can do something, But it'll cost me everything. It'll cost me everything to do it, but I can do it. I just have to break the rules. But I can put Discord, and by extension Grogar, in his own dedicated Discord tier. Hey, I know I said no joke tiers, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And that's it. Those are the Friendship is Magic power rankings. Do you agree or disagree with any of my placements? Would you have liked me to call more or less characters scum? Did you not notice that this video was uploaded on April 1st and didn't foresee things getting weird? Feel free to let me know by writing a comment down below, and drop a like while you're down there. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want more dumb stuff like this, or to watch my actually good content. But for now, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, I've been your host Ava CZ, and get the hell out of my house. Ah! Why did I do that?